Are we there?
Yeah.
We're here.
On Point is on the air. I swear we're on the air. We don't have a care. We got Jeff Broom in the building. We got a Yaz and she's chilling. We got a Ray. She's no villain. DJ Queen Dream and she be ill. And where's Will? He's at the place to be. We're back, y'all. On Point Radio B.
Oh my God.
Good morning. We are live, right? Well, we sound good this morning, don't we?
That's
Good morning, New York.
We've been digitized.
Is that what it is?
No, I don't know.
Oh, you turn the volume up.
There you go. The moisture's in the air is good.
Good morning, New York. This is JB, Jay Broomberg in the building.
New York City. I'm so proud to announce that this particular episode is going to be about new music.
Okay.
You know, new music. New music. New music. New music.
Okay, so thank you, everybody. Can you all hear me?
No.
Okay. That's good. Can you all hear me?
Come on, can y'all hear? Well, my mic is like on double.
So, okay.
There we go.
Yeah.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
So thank you for the roll call. As you know, you can listen to us at www.onpointradioshow.com. Enjoy the experience. It's going to be a great show today.
Oh,
Absolutely.
no doubt. Big shout twice as fancy. My homeboy D Nasty, wherever you at, you are.
I know where he is.
Oh, where is he?
His mother is getting married today.
When we get married.
That's what's up.
Oh, man. I wonder he's going to get allowance now from his new daddy.
He's definitely getting haircuts. He's definitely getting fly haircuts.
Right. New beardeds.
That's awesome.
So big shout out also to the collaboration that took place with D Nasty and Harlem Honors from last week. I don't know if it's gonna happen, but Bunny was so impressed with D Nasty's intro that she was like, I gotta have him.
She was moved, huh?
Very. So big shout out
That's
to
how
that.
OnPoint do it. You know, Team Everything got a little bit of
That's
everything
it.
for everybody.
Everybody got everything. If you need this, we got that.
We got you.
Word. Your credit's jacked up? I got you.
We got you.
You need
You
a
got
host?
a community problem?
We got this.
Got you.
Please,
Some
we got
visibility.
everything.
You
some
want to be a
credibility.
judge? I got you.
Need some political advice? We got you.
Got you.
Need to put a march together? We got
You need someone to protect your quarterback.
I got you. So, we don't, but we could start it off. And I think this week, how fitting.
Y'all hear it through my headphones because I don't know what's going on.
Oh, is that what that is? You hitting the headphone?
So I am very, very I'm really feeling the loss of Aretha Franklin. And, there's certain people in your life that you just watch and they was just a part of your life, your fabric, every stage of your life. There was a Aretha Franklin song. And so I was like, okay. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And so I was just like, when they said she was sick and gravely ill, I was like, okay, but she's gonna make it. But it's just a reality.
Right. She
of
went
it,
back
you know
home
what I mean?
and then she died the next day.
And so
Crazy.
her passing away has just been very, 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 very.
I mean,
I'm so proud of just
of
that she
everything
just graced us. And
she was the first person whose voice was considered a national treasure. Like it was actually classified as that. And when Asada Shakur was arrested, she got her, she paid for her bail. I mean, it's like she had a lot of dimensions to her life.
That's right.
So she was very, very much involved in the people's movement. So
Absolutely.
she understood her role in it.
So I would ask if there's and I also have some moments to share, but I would ask everybody, maybe go around. Big shout out to Will in the house. I would ask everybody if there's hi everybody. If there's some thoughts that you have of what made you what comes to mind when you think of Aretha, instead about what had happened. Just what's some thoughts that come to mind when you think of Aretha?
Well, I'll go first.
Okay.
Two things, right? Well, and I'll make them quick. One is that obviously, parents, Motown parents, right? So I can always remember, my mom, respect, right? Just dancing around the house and stuff like that. And, just had to learn the words to it. And then, what it meant, not only from a female perspective about respecting me, but also from a civil rights perspective, And then my father sat down and he he saw Aretha, I believe he was telling me that, because she campaigned with Martin Luther King, right? So when he was out, she volunteered, she wanted to sing for him. So I just thought she was a singer, and my father kind of helped me understand that, she was very much involved in the movement, and back in the day, that word respect had a little bit more meaning, us as African Americans, almost like as an anthem, So I just remember my mom just running around the house singing What You Want. Anytime she'd beef with my dad, that was her song.
Yeah, I think as an artist, it's very difficult to be and epitomize a living soundtrack to the era that's occurring at the time.
How about that?
And so being the daughter of a preacher, being able to take the gospel and to take that music with the new rhythm and blues and soul that was occurring during the time,
right,
do a metamorphosis, in an audio capacity to champion women feeling more empowered, the civil rights feeling more empowered, men feeling more empowered. I mean,
how about that?
And I remember one time going to a studio and someone had a CD playing. And I was walking into the studio and I was like, yo, I don't know I thought it was an artist singing. I was like, I don't know who's singing, but my artist is about to get smoked. But I walked in, I was like, oh, it's a CD. Okay. Woo, we got spared because Sister Girl's hot right there. What's up, Ray Ray? How you feel?
I love it.
I'm feeling good. Well, for me, I mean,
I love that voice.
Thanks, it's my Sophia Loren. Well, I wish I could do my Aretha voice, but I cannot do it. But Aretha, for me, not being an African American, but when she came out with Spanish Harlem, and I felt so included. I'm like, okay, now I'm part of her clique. Like there's a Rose in Spanish Harlem. Yeah. Oh my God, that is a beautiful song. It's like the lyricism is so beautiful.
All the songs.
Then all of a sudden I felt like, okay, I could really love her. This is when I was younger.
Yes. Well, you are that Washington Heights Rose. Yeah, you know that, right?
So when I said like, yo, she's singing about me. Yeah, that's my song.
So there's the soundtrack for the theme song for A Different World that was a part of my life. You Make Me Feel Like a Natural Woman.
Yes. Do Right Woman, Do Right Man.
You gotta think.
There's a song that she did when she stepped in for Pavarotti, The Last Minute, Nessa Durma, and who thought that she could put gospel to opera, right? And then also, like, Cordy Ho and I, we did this whole thing. I love this song when she does Mary Don't You Weep. And, like, hugging on that piano and just playing it just speaks to me. And, of course, for her being a civil rights leader, paving the streets, thinking that one day she's fighting for the rights of everybody, and be able to sing for the inauguration of the first black president.
How about that?
It's just been an incredible testimony to her world and her life.
What you feel, Will?
Well, I'm going to make it short. I know we have time, but Aretha was one of my favorites. I mean, the range that this woman will have. She's not only a 20th, but a 21st century icon, right? My uncle, who was actually a musician of like 4 or 5 different instruments, actually had the opportunity to play at the Harlem, and at the Apollo, and he actually met Aretha. And at that time, she was on the civil rights movement. She was really going for black people very strongly. He told me, as he was speaking to her, he just started crying. And my uncle was like a real, like 250 pounds, muscular bond. So I'm like, you cry? What? But it just showed just what she brought to the table, even by saying hello to you.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Indeed.
What she had. I mean, Aretha, we all know, had her relationship issues. One of my favorite songs, I would say, Chain of Fools. And I say that, but what that song did, it empowered her, and I don't think a lot of people understood that, because she starts off, I mean, with this loud riff, right? But she's saying that you're worried. She's talking to the guy, you're worried, because you see what's about to happen.
It's about to happen.
Even though in her song she's saying, I'm part of your link, of your chain, you're scared because I know the power. I make you strong.
Real lyrics.
And so that was like, I heard that like from the age of like 7. Oh, my mom
That's
used
like
to
your
play that.
conversation piece right there.
That is. I mean, my mom used to play that constantly. I don't know what she was trying to tell my father, but
people get behind these lyrics. Man.
Yeah, she was a great singer. I mean, advocate. She was just a great person. And a great mom too.
So I think we were talking about that if somebody had to play Aretha, who we would.
Can I go first? Can I go first?
I want to go first.
I want to go first.
Can I go first? Jill Scott.
It would be Burgandy.
Burgandy. After Burgandy, right? Who will be on the show a little later on today as part of our new music festival spectacular.
I'm going to 45.
So you said Jill Scott?
Jill Scott. Jill Scott.
I would say Jennifer Hudson.
Yes, that was my. Give me some love.
You want battle? You want battle?
No,
I'll be Jen. Let me stop.
Because Jennifer Hudson can carry that.
You gotta have range.
It's just
Yeah,
that
She got that whole aura, man.
Yeah.
She got that energy, bro.
And plus, she said
Jill
she wanted
Scott from
Jennifer.
Philly, though.
She wanted Jennifer Hudson to please. She said she wanted Jennifer Hudson. She
Right.
said either her or Fantasia could do it.
I like Jennifer.
Because she read the script.
Yeah.
Ba-doom, boom.
Not good.
Show up.
Just sing the song. We can get a feeling for
So
you.
this has been great. Thank you so much. Queen, why don't you take us out? We'll be right back with a credible guest, but take us out with some tributes to Aretha.
Rock steady, baby. Rock steady. Rock steady, baby. I've got a deeper love, deeper love inside, and I call it high, a deeper love, high, a deeper love, high, a deeper love, whoa, 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 high, a deeper love, high, a deeper love, high, a deeper love, whoa, 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 whoa. There's a fire burning in my heart, reaching a fever pitch, and it's bringing me out of the dark. Finally, I can see it crystal clear. Go ahead and sell me out, and I'll lay your ship bare. See how I will leave with every part of you. Don't underestimate the things that I will do. There's a fire burning in my heart, reaching a fever pitch, and it's bringing me out of the dark. The scars of your love remind me of us. It keeps me thinking we almost had it all. The scars of your love keeps me breathless. I can't help thinking we could have had it all. Rolling in the deep. You had my heart inside your hand, but you played to the baby. Baby, I have no story to tell. What you want, baby, I got it. What you need, do you know I got it? All I'm asking is for a little respect when you come home. Hey, baby, when you get home, mister, I ain't gonna do you wrong while you're gone. I ain't gonna do you wrong, 'cause I don't wanna. All I'm asking.
This is former New York State Assemblyman and current New York County Democratic leader Keith Wright, and you're listening to On Point Experience.
And we're back. That was a little tribute, little medley of Aretha Franklin songs. Sleep in heaven, Aretha Franklin. We miss you. Thank you for all your contributions to not only the music world, but the social injustices that us as black people face every day. Thank you so much, and you will be greatly missed.
Well said. Well said. I'm going to transition a little because Aretha was all about music. And in the 60s, what she was breaking was considered new music. You got to remember, she brought to the world a different paradigm when it came to the musicality of the universe of music. And New York has always been a place where groundbreaking music has been broken. In a lot of situations, because of technology, because of the talent, because of what we got going on today, we're not slaves to traditional radio stations. We're not slaves. You could break new music. And today, we have the honor of having a New York son, a Harlem son, someone who has been involved with some of the greatest artists in the world. Bless us with his new track. It's amazing, it's hot as fly, it's that summer bounce. We bring you Fascination. This is part of our OnPoint Radio new music breakdown. We want y'all to bounce for a little second as we play it. If you like it, we'll let you know where you can cop it.
So I'm gonna dive in the attraction, chain reaction. It's fascination, feels like fireworks. Look you in the eyes like the 4th of July. Fascination, ooh, you lift me high like a buzz. Now I'm gone off on and on. Give me a clue. Do you feel the way that I'm feeling? Sexual healing. I'm breaking the rules, but giving in to your passion. Are you ready to dive in? It's fascination. Feels like fireworks when I look you in the eyes like the 4th of July. It's fascination. Ooh, you lift me high like a buzz. Now I'm gone. I feel on and on.
Let's work, come on. I'm so fascinated, I can't exaggerate it. You know I'm nothing like the dude in the past you dated. See, your love was a drug, left cash you dated. And you schooled me to your love till I graduated. Came up like, oh man, young boy had to get with the program. See, I ain't know nothing about the romance. From living the fast life to the slow jams. Oh man, oh, I be the dude that you need in your life. You had a man wasn't treating you right. You had a man wasn't treating you right. Yeah, he had you on lock, I'm the key that you like. Oh yeah, unlock the door, I do it big. I'm the guy you should call. If anything you need, never exaggerated. One thing about me, I be fascinated.
Yeah. I know you know me. They call him Woo Roberson, and the place to be. What up, son? Yeah. Talk to me about this song. It's hot. I ain't going front. If it was whack, we wouldn't play it. 'Cause we don't play the whackness here on OPE. Talk to me about the song, about you, but what you got going on, Playboy.
Okay. First of all, I'm from Harlem. I want to thank you for having me. The song Fascination is my first release as an artist. Some people ask me, well, if you're the artist, what did you do on the record? Well, I produced the record, and I'm introducing a brand new artist. The singer, her name is Trinity. She's 17 years old, from California.
Okay.
I also put Cash Flow Harlem on the record. You know, this is a Harlem record. Make no mistake about that. You know, and it's you know, a summer jam. You know, something for the annual summer vibe. You know, when you're cooking out or you're driving or you want to step a little bit and you want something that feels good, just throw on Fascination. Available now.
How can they get it? How can they cop that, yo?
It's available for download and streaming on all platforms. It's on Tidal, Spotify, iTunes, Apple Music, everywhere.
So, well, good question, right? This young lady's 17, and you talked about the different platforms. What's the strategy on how to break an artist, right? Obviously, you want to get streams, views, whatever it is. What's the strategy that you would implement? You've been in the industry for a while.
Okay, my strategy for this particular record is I made this record for the DJ. You know, it's radio friendly, of course, but I created something that the DJ could put on and be popping. So I started doing my promotion through a service called DigiWax. Okay. DigiWax is a DJ pool, and they have 55,000 DJs worldwide. Wow. So my first line of promotion right now is strictly radio, DJ for the streets. At the end of September, I will do the video for the visual aspect of it, but I wanted to make sure that I had a solid foundation by producing a record that I know that the DJs will enjoy, you know, and the streets love it. So then I can go on from there and have a foundation
on the visual and take it to the next level.
You gonna film the video in Harlem? You gonna film the video in Harlem?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
You do that.
Given,
You
right?
should do that in Queens, bro. You should do that in Queens. Willie Will, what's up, man? A lot of people don't know I knew Will when we was like teenagers, bro. We used to play ball. He saw me with my crossover. He saw me with that rebound action.
No, but I broke your ankle once on the crossover.
Here we go.
You know, you was on crutches for about a year, right? Nah, I'm just kidding.
But one of the things I want to say to everybody that a lot of people didn't know at the time, including myself, we understood we was into the music thing. We all, my brother Farrell Davis from Albio Dune's son from Last Poets.
Yes.
We were all growing up, and we used to go to his house every Sunday right after I finished cracking everybody's butt. You know what I'm saying? The morning side, that's right. So I didn't realize. I mean, Will would constantly. He seen us trying to develop a singing group, and he would say little things about music. I didn't know, because my thing was, okay, you don't sing, so I didn't understand his element. And then I found out that Will does music, and I heard he was really good at the music. And then he just disappeared off the map. So I want you to tell us your journey, what happened during that time.
Okay. Well, basically, I started out, first of all, doing music for television. First, a lot of people don't know that, but I wrote theme songs for. My first professional gig was on a documentary on NBC called "Images and Realities of African American Men." That came on. It was a primetime documentary for NBC, hosted by Louis Gossett Jr. I wrote the theme song, and I actually performed the vocals on it. It was a rap, song.
Sure.
And so my entry into doing entertainment, for me, was a journey of not only entertainment but educational, something that was culturally responsible.
Okay.
So I started, doing stuff for television first, and then I had an opportunity to go to Paris.
You got a passport, yo?
I'm on my third passport right
Tell
now.
him, baby.
So
Put the stamps in the book.
Yeah, I've been like to 15 countries,
That's what's up.
And when I walk down the street in certain countries, people run up like, "Yo," you know what I mean? It's like
Fascination.
that. But where was I? Kind of got lost.
Paris.
You was in Paris.
Third
Yeah.
passport.
Yeah.
Negroes in Paris, yeah.
Yeah. So
Just your life, your travelings and everything.
well, the way I ended up in Paris, I met my biological father when I was 27 years old. And when I met him, he happened to be the stepfather of Malachi the Nutcracker from a group called Group Home.
Oh, yeah. Remember Group Home? Yeah.
Remember Group Home?
This goes on. Yeah, they were dope, yeah.
DJ Premier produced it. Guru and DJ Premier, that was their project, their group. So Malachi had gotten into a little trouble, and Malachi's mother asked if he could come live with me for the summer. I was living on Riverside Drive at the time, 149th and Riverside Drive, and I had a lot of space. I actually tell you what happened and the reason why she asked, could he come live with me? He was driving a DJ Premier's truck, and he wrecked it. He crashed it, and he felt so bad about wrecking the truck that he pulled out a 9mm and shot himself through the leg. Okay, so
I got robbed.
kind of no. He was so ashamed that he did. He just shot himself through the leg and almost in the foot. So his mother told me he was getting into trouble, and she felt like I would be a good influence on him.
Okay.
At the time, I owned a bike messenger company called Miles Per Minute. I was a businessman at the time. BET had featured me on Teen Summit, and they had a show on Sunday called Real Business. So BET used to fly me down when it was in Washington.
Yeah, those were good old days.
Yeah. The white limousine would pick you
A lot
up.
of dips worked in that BET office. Oh, my God.
Yeah. So he lived with me for the summer. While he lived with me, he went out to a nightclub one night, and he met a French journalist. And because he was living with me, he gave him my house phone number. So this guy kept calling, some French guy. He just kept calling, and I was like, look, he's never here, but I'll set up the interview, but you got to talk to me too. So he said, fine. So, so I set the interview up. He came, he interviewed both of us. Malachi talked about the music, and I talked about the business. About 2 weeks later, he called me and said, look, there's a group called KDD going into the studio. They're on Columbia Records, and they want you to come in and finish producing their album and mix it. He offered me a certain amount of money. It was a decent amount of money, but I said, I'm not interested. But I said, just in case, I doubled the amount of money that he offered me Because, you know, the way I think, if you offering me something, you could pay me at least double what you offering me.
Okay.
You know? So anyway, I doubled it up. Never thought I was going to hear from him again. And then about another 2 weeks later, he called and said, okay. The group said, fine. And, you know, they'll pay me, you know, what I asked for. And so I flew out to Paris. I took Avon Marshall with me. Avon Marshall is a keyboard player. And I flew out with him. And for 30 days, they put us up in a hotel. I finished producing the record. It came out. It was successful. And while I was in Paris, I was walking around like, wow, this place is beautiful. You know, big city like New York. But one of the things that really caught my attention about it is they had a lot of respect for the culture and the stuff that we were doing in America. The hip hop culture in Paris is almost as old as hip hop culture in America. It's like 35 years old. So, and it's also the second market in the world for hip hop music. Paris is, you know, their artists sell millions of records just like we did over here. So after producing that first project, other artists began to approach me to produce records for them. And I was like, wow, you know, it's a beautiful place. I got a great opportunity here, and I'm working. I think I could live here. So then I decided to move to Paris. So I moved to Paris, and I lived there for like 4 years.
So what would you say, that's the past, what would you say for the future? What do you got next? You got Fascination cracking. I know it's going to be a fly video.
Oh,
what
yeah, no
should
question.
people expect from Mr. WR in the future?
Just expect high quality. You know, what I do when I produce something, I do high quality work, and then the rest is up to the universe and God. You know, I make sure that, you know, when I put my effort into something, like I mixed the record in a quad. I mastered
Legendary.
it. Yeah, Legendary Studio. I mastered it at the Mastering Palace. You know, they're like one of the best mastering houses, you know, in the world. So, you know, I just try to produce quality work, and I put it out there. And if it connects with the people, then you know, the rest is gravy after that. And I try to let people know that I'm from the era of getting paid.
Well, speaking of getting paid, Will got a quick question for you
real
about
quick
getting
question.
paid.
Yeah.
Remember, we have a past. I wanted to say, you talk about Legendary. What made you reconnect with the Last Poets? How did that happen?
My experience in Paris is what made me reconnect with the Last Poets. I would walk around the streets of Paris, and I would see Last Poet collections in the actual record shops. And that was something that I never saw in America. And I was wondering, I said, why I never saw like Last Poet records in record shops in America? So as I began to do the research, I realized it was the message that they were putting out there to the people. It was a message of upliftment, of self-respect, and it's something that really made you think. And so while living in Paris, 9/11 happened. After 9/11 happened, I knew that the world had changed.
Right.
And so I wanted to come back. Well, I stayed there like a year after 9/11 happened because, you know, I wasn't coming right back to that.
Smart move. Let the dust settle, literally.
You know, the planes kept falling out the sky. I was like, you know, I ain't going back for a while. So in like 2002, I came back to New York City. I said, I'm going to move back to New York, and I'm going to start from scratch. And so I moved back to New York City. I reconnected with a man called Charlie Gambetta. I had did some work for him previously with another group. He had a group called Us, and he invested like $300,000 into this group. So my thinking was, if he would invest $300,000 into a group that was, you know, unknown, I said, if I can introduce him to the poets and explain to him what they mean to the culture and their legacy, I could get him to invest in this project. So I came back. I sat with Abil Doon of the Last Poets, and honestly, Doon was not feeling it. He was like, nah, you know, a lot of artists said that they was gonna work with us in the past, and they never did it, you know. So I said, all right. In my mind, I said, I'm gonna get this project done. So then I reached out to Umar bin Hassan of the Last Poets, and Umar was very receptive. He said, sure, let's give it a shot. So then I went back to Charlie, introduced him to Charlie. We built a recording studio on the Lower East Side on East 3rd Street, you know, from scratch. You know, we built a recording studio to do the project at, in one of his buildings that he owned. He owned a building down there. After about a month of me and Umar just doing stuff with just me and him in the studio, I get a call from Stick from Dead Prez. He said, yo.
That's that political rapping dude right there.
Yeah. Stick is like, yo, I'm coming down, you know, first I sent Stick the track. My man Animal Steel is the one that connected Dead Prez. Actually, I gotta give Animal his props. But Stick, he called me, was like, yo, I love the track, it's dope. And then right before the session, he said, a friend of mine wanna come to the studio and lay some vocals. He said, yeah, my friend Common wants to come down. Can he come and just, matter of fact, he didn't even tell me he wanted to do records. He just said, Common wants to come to the session. Can he come?
Nah. Think about it.
So I got a quick question, because
Yeah.
you talked about your family, and you talked about you meeting your father.
Yeah.
In your bio, you speak a lot about your estranged mom.
Yeah.
More importantly, what I want to say, I commend you for deciding to just make it. Because sometimes people, when they have to be on their own, they just don't. At 14, you started out doing this on your own, and like, what was that moment in your life, in your mind, that you decided that I'm just going to make this happen? I'm going to become that business person. I'm going to go meet with Quincy Jones. I'm going to go reactivate the Last Poets. When did that happen?
Well, I must give credit to my mother and my stepfather. In my early development, they enrolled me in a place called Boys Harbor, which was an after-school center.
East Harlem, yeah.
Yeah, in East Harlem that I went to. It was going to Boys Harbor was the reason why I was able to recognize the talents that I had. I studied art, acting. I played a few instruments, and it was there that I discovered, that this is what I wanted to do with my life. And that was also where I met Abil Doom from the Last Poets, because he was a counselor there. So I met him at Boys Harbor. That's where we first met. So when I was kicked out on the street at 14, I had a lot of discipline instilled in me from my earlier development. We was also a part of the Nation of Islam. I was forced to go to the school on 116th. It's still there, the school there on 116th in Harlem. Yeah. I went there, and in that school they could whip your ass. Like, the teachers could beat you. And then when you get home, you're gonna get another beating when you got home. So I was kind of like walking a straight and narrow line.
Right, exactly.
Speaking of narrow lines, we're gonna take a little narrow break. Can you hang out with us for a few as we transition to the next part of this phenomenal show that we call OPE Experience Queen Dream? Take us out for a quick second.
Look, they're hating on your fine now. And your back shot looking like a wine glass. And your shoe game looking like a time ad. Too fly, someone bring this with launch pad. Cocaine, white skin, no cut. The mother mad, they ain't spending like us. You gon' need a little more wet, give me your cup. Keep it on the low when we out doing our stuff. Who gon' be the front and back, bring up the tracks? Never let them know that I've been sliding through the bag. Never let them know that we've been doing things. Got a little fling, need a little green, shorty holler back. I ain't trying to brag, I can have a lot of but there's something about you that's phenomenal. Top of the class, and shorty, this the honor roll. Dodging these hopes, I'm 10 toes. It's comical.
If they find out about you, they gon' hate. Yeah. They gon' do what they can to get in the way. They will. So let's keep it low key. We gon' keep it low key. Girl, let's keep it low key. Girl, let's keep it low key. Keep it low key. Body's keep it low key. Let's keep it low key.
It's kinda funny how your friends hate. Couple hope they was looking for a date. When I seen your body, we should looking like a state. Go shorty, it's your birthday without the cake. Better tell your roommate you coming home late. Summer 5-star, you was wetter than a lake. This a new car, ain't nobody seen a trace. Dark tint when the whip dipped, no one seen the face. You so bad, I might have to keep you in the cut. These other hopes out here trying to break us up. Now I got you on the couch playing with your blouse. Let me treat you like a spouse before I kick you out.
If they find out about you, they gon' hate. Yeah. They gon' do what they can to get in the way. They will. So let's keep it low key. We gon' keep it low key. Girl, let's keep it low key. Girl, let's keep it low key. Keep it low key. Body's keep it low key. Let's keep it low key. Don't tell your friends what we do. Cause this little thing stays between me and you. Don't tell you they gon' hate. Yeah, yeah. They gon' do what they can to get in the way. You know they will. So let's keep it low key. We gon' keep it low key. Girl, let's keep it low key. Girl, let's keep it low key. Keep it low key. Let's keep it low key.
Get to know you better, baby. Let's get up out of here. We can go to my place.
I wanna get to know you better, baby. Now why you in such a rush? I'd like for you to stay.
I want you to stay with me tonight. 'Cause I've had the best time that I've ever had in my life. I want you to stay, just hold my hand. Girl, I know you wanna touch,
And boy, I know you wanna.
but it feels better when we dance.
Dance with me.
It feels better when we dance.
So dance with me.
It feels better when we dance.
Let me be on point. I got the OnPoint experience. You know why? Because my name is Dr. Dre. I got the Yasmin OnPoint experience. I got the Big Jeff OnPoint experience. I got the Ray OnPoint experience. And of course, I'm with the man D Nasty with the OnPoint experience, because that's the only way Dr. Dre rolls. OnPoint experience.
Yes, yes, yes. And first we heard When We Dance by, Yana Marie and Montage. And we also heard some new tracks, so bear with me, everybody. And we heard by the artist name is Any Means, interesting, featuring Daniel Peter and Dennis Blaze with Low Key. Shout outs to all the independent artists. Hit me up with your music if you want to be heard. If you don't, we might play it.
We might.
Wow. I think every week, we feature some up and coming new music, and I am truly impressed by the level of the professionalism and the music that we feature. So, Queen, great to you for picking it out, making it happen. But we got some real talented people that come on this show every single week.
You know what? We're gonna shout it out with the classic new music. New music. New music. New music. You see, Jeff is already in that official house mode because he is the king of house music. Today, we are featuring new music. I am proud to say, to my right, I have the woman who they call Amy G in front of her. In front of me is the woman that they call Burgandy.
Hey,
I want y'all to check out and feel this new track. That's out. Check it out.
Check it out.
Roles of the information age. Fake news and unpaid dues on a social media stage. Too many fingers on hair triggers, it's a pressure gauge. Guns won't save us when bullets are raging. Dreams taken and promises given. Years of education for wages at a minimum. Hashtag my misery, but those who can choose to stay removed, stay seated. Behind these screens, behind these memes. Filtered out truth, but I can still hear them screaming. The revolution is trying to go Facebook Live in the age of anxiety. Divide us, but we even speak these words if the person was standing beside us. Backspace of humanity, Instagram vanity, chaos in the comments, and we're losing our sanity. We stand at a crossroad where Babylon will fall. They don't need Mexico to separate us with this wall. Oh yeah, is blowing, tornadoes and hurricanes, fires devour, flood water swallows, thirsting for water, flimsy umbrellas, holding on, waiting for someone to tell us we will be saved. But what if we could part the sky and move the sun into revolution with the love we gave? I gotta keep reaching, keep fighting for a higher me. My hands are up, can't breathe this air in this age of anxiety. You gotta love like never before. You gotta love
is the truth. Don't believe the lie, cause the love is the truth. Don't believe the lie, cause the love is the truth. Love is the truth. Love is the truth. Love, 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 love. Why are we deep in this anxiety when our society could just choose to get free with love, 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 love. Love, 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 love. You gotta love. Why are we deep in this anxiety when our society could just choose to get free with love, love,
Was dope. I ain't going front. That was official tissue right there. Let me do a proper introduction. Amy G, we go back from Rapathon 1. I think Yaz will find this interesting. She's the woman who actually brought the Gecko Brothers, John Owen Priest, to the Hip Hop Culture Center.
Serious?
You are the person who brought them. You didn't even know that, right?
Goodness.
Yeah, they
I've been aware of some of the connections, but
that was
for
you.
real?
I did not know those brothers until you brought them into my cipher.
That's what's up.
You know, and you know, and another thing Yaz would appreciate. I know we're Harlemites. One of the churches of music, the highest pinnacles, is something they call the Apollo Theater. We have someone who is not only blessed that stage, but she be doing her passport thing too. You know, doing that X Factor up in London, England, across the pond. Like that girl they call Burgandy. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna start with you.
Yeah.
Burgandy. Then we're gonna go to Amy G. Yo, the song is fire.
Right?
How that happen?
When Amy said she wanted to do something with me and she wanted to bring me on a project, I'm like, cool. You know, Amy is love and fun. So anything
and cheeseburgers and scotch.
That's right.
I'm vegan now, but you used to be.
All right. You're looking like you're vegan. Go ahead, girl.
Anything Amy wants to do, man, I'm down for it. So when she sent me the track, it took me a while because I was busy. When I finally got to it, I'm like,
that track is fire.
Right?
That track is fire.
You want me on this?
That track makes you want to do something. It just makes you want to do whatever.
I'm trying to tell you. And then when she sent me the words, I'm like, where do I sign? What do I do? How do I get there?
That's awesome.
And we made it happen, man. It was like electricity the whole time.
I gotta ask you a question. You from the A, right?
Yep.
Okay. Your lyrical ability seems more like a New Yorkish type of flow. To me, you know what I mean? To me, I want to know what are some of your influences in the game anyway.
That was not me actually.
No,
that was Asia Rainey, the other person on the
on the verses. Yes.
I'm just doing background. I'm doing hooks.
She's the lead on the hook,
with
and
the voice.
Asia's with the spoken word on the verse.
Spoken word is all Asia.
That's my second question. Who was the singer on the track?
Hi.
That background was crazy.
Me.
So what is your influences to? What are you doing to enhance that wonderful voice? Because that needs to be out there. Not in a background is cool, but it needs to be out there.
I'm working on the out there part. My influences, to go back to your first question, was of course Whitney, Aretha, Patti, Gladys. The classic, the great queens of music, the great royalties, and to get out there. I don't know. I moved to New York 4 years ago to try to figure that out. Because there's no specific road to get this thing done. So I've just been kind of feeling it out, making all my mistakes and making this journey. So Amy became a part of that journey.
Sure.
I sing around New York, whenever I'm hired. And I always said I wanted to be international, but I didn't know how to do it. And the opportunity came. And now I'm making headway in the UK right now.
Awesome. Opportunities endless.
See, the eye contact is there. I think you know what I'm about to ask.
Whoa.
So, first of all, when you hit that note in the song, I literally caught a chill in my spine. And I was like, woo! Like, that's how you know it's real. Yeah. So, can I ask a favor?
Yeah.
Can you do a small tribute to Aretha? Like, can you do an acapella? Yeah.
I'm an Aretha Franklin tribute artist, baby. You get whatever you want.
That's what I'm talking about.
You asked a magic question.
Do it. Because that's what I was doing in the UK.
Yes.
Bless
Don't
us.
play that song for me. Oh my God, yes. 'Cause it brings back memories of days that I once knew. The days that I spent with you. Oh Lord, don't let them play. Fills my heart with pain. Please stop it right away. 'Cause I remember just what he said. He said, darling, I know that you lied. I said that you lied. Don't say it, you lied. Lord, you lied to me.
I know that's
Ooh,
right.
I have tears in my eyes. Like,
Banging it early on a Saturday. Wake up, America. That's real singing right there.
And can I just point out that this song is the first record that this young lady is on. Like that.
I get to do my very first real featured recording with Amy.
Wow.
So
It
it's
is
an honor.
such an honor.
It's an honor. My honor. What are you talking about, Amy?
So Amy, we've chatted with Burgandy. We've heard her sing phenomenal early in the morning. I mean, you know,
Yeah.
no tea, no water.
I'm clearing my. I can't even talk.
But I'm
Stay
listening.
ready, baby.
I'm listening to the song, right? And there's so many different levels to it, right? She's singing on it, right? You have individuals that are actually doing the spoken word. I think I hear children in the background as
Yes,
well.
sir.
So tell us about how this all came together, because that's a pretty unique experience to have all these different pieces and components in one song.
And it's funny how it evolved because
Yeah.
the vision kind of kept like growing like level per level.
Right.
And actually, it was about the time that I was on your show last, back in 2016.
Okay.
I had a new song coming out with produced by Brady Watt, and out of that session we had this other track. And the show that I did at the time was called I Like Love. It was election year. The world was falling apart even more so than it had been.
Okay.
And I wanted to make a song that wasn't just a song.
Okay.
You know, that would get at the things that I see, every day, the things that I want to change, you know, to really something to make people stop and think, question their beliefs, and, you know, really do what Aretha's music did, but what y'all were talking about earlier, you know, have some lasting, impacting change in the world. So last September, when Esperanza Spalding did her 77-hour live, she created an album in 77 hours live on Facebook.
Wow.
I met Asia Rainey online through watching that. She's a New Orleans native spoken word artist. And we came together online. She wrote a poem about the experience, and I said, oh, that's lovely. Can I play some piano to that? That was officially our first collaboration, but it was like in soulmates as far as artist collaboration.
Right.
We've gone back and forth on a bunch of different things. And I had this track, I had lyrics in mind for it, and I had, you know, I knew the hook should be, you gotta love like never before. I kept thinking to myself, the harder the world hates, the harder we have to love. So you gotta love like never before. But Asia Rainey, with her brilliance and lyricism and everything that I put through her filter just comes out making so much more sense. So for instance, she took that hook and added the line, you gotta love like this is war. You know, that's what drives it home. And I think that illustrates really how her and I worked together on putting the lyrics together. When she came up to record the verses, I mentioned to her offhand one day, I said, you know, anxiety and society rhyme. We should do something with that in the lyrics. And there you have that whole breakdown that the children are singing. Why are we deep in this anxiety when our society could just choose to get free? Because, you know, at the root of all of these things that are going on in our world today, we're not seeing each other for who we are. There's a common solution to the problems, and what the song I hope does is just kind of boils it down for people, you know, to stop and think about how.
Hey Amy, where
Yes,
does
sir.
the proceeds go to for the song?
Well, it's not so much about the proceeds, but we are in an effort to create something that people can really feel like they're making a change in the world. We've enlisted the assistance and the support of the ACLU and Kids Against Hunger, the American Civil Liberties Union. And what we're doing as a next level phase is in search of sponsors to pledge $1 per stream every time the song is streamed to these organizations. We'd say we'd donate our proceeds, but you all know how that works. You know? with the 5-way songwriter split, and you know, who knows what you even get off of a stream anyway. I don't even want to insult the American Civil Liberties Union by offering them my proceeds.
Right.
That's not going to make a dent in the work they're doing.
Right.
But you know, there's a great quote by Janis Joplin. She said, "I don't understand why half the world is crying and the other half is crying too and can't get it together." So there's anything, you know, what's waste to one person is what another person needs. So that's again the part of the larger reflection. You know, after we get people to fall in love with the song and know these wonderful artists that want this to be a platform for them to succeed off of, we want to make some meaningful change happen in the world.
And one thing I wanted to ask you is, being a visionary like you are and trying to bring everyone together to see that one vision, it's very difficult. How do you deal with that?
You know, it all came from our love of music. You know, the way Asia and I bonded over watching Esperanza's creative process, and the children that you hear on the track. So what I do for a living is I teach music. I have about 40 private students that I see a week in piano, voice, and guitar. They're my family. They're my children. When I feel like I've been entrusted with gifting these musical souls, guiding them on their musical path, and I like to connect them with real world experiences whenever I can. So getting the children involved, it all comes from our love of music. And if this happened, you know, we got Asia here across the country. If this could bring us together, Brady Watt, Jeff Andy St. Hubert, all the genius that was into this track, if we could come together to make this song, what can that, you know, that should give the world hope, a little bit of hope in all of this.
It all centers in love, right? The whole thing.
Yeah.
So do you
I
guys
love music.
do you go out into the community and offer like opportunities for people to like jam together? Because I could totally see you guys.
Well, that's how we met.
Well, yeah, through Sugar Bar.
We met at an open mic. We met at an open mic over at Ashford and Simpson Sugar Bar years ago, and we just connected.
Geminis.
Yeah,
Geminis. Our birthdays are a few days apart. Are you a May Gemini or a June Gemini?
I'm a May Gemini.
What day? What day?
May 26th.
May 31st. Hey, what up, sis?
See, alignment. There's all these things that just, you know, align with this coming together. And in fact, when we got Burgandy in to record, and when Asia flew up to record the verses, Brady Watt, the guy who had originally produced the track, was still in California. So he says, "Oh, I got a guy staying at my apartment right now, Jeff Andy St. Hubert. We're going to have him engineer the vocal sessions so we can get Burgandy on before she has to leave for London." And the serendipity of that. Jeff Andy's camp. He has roots with playing with Wyclef, but he currently works with Ray Angry, Esperanza's pianist, and so it's really the whole the way everything aligns to come together through this, and it really does just center back from all of our love of music and want to expose the world.
And it seems like you guys are so generous. Like you always promote each other's work. Like it's like a generous community of artists.
Lift each other up. Lift each other up.
I mean, what's done in love lasts forever.
It lasts forever. It certainly does. I mean, obviously music is universal. And I think you guys have a tremendous message. Hopefully that people can impact individuals across all kind of racial lines, economic lines, things of that nature. So if people want to get access to this, right, to what you guys are doing, where would they find you? Maybe individually? What should they do? How do we stream this? How do we promote this?
Thank you.
Sure.
So it's the song is called "Get Free: A Love Song in the Age of Anxiety" by Amy G. And the trick in searching for me as an artist is it's 4 letters, no spaces. Okay. And featuring Asia Rainey, Burgandy Williams, Brady Watt, Jeff Andy St. Hubert. We are on Spotify. We are on Apple Music. You can download us on iTunes. You can find me on my CD Baby page. You can search the hashtag #GetFreeAOA, which will lead you to a lot of the song teasers that we put together for it. We're on Instagram and Facebook as the Get Free Movement.
Okay.
GFM. The Get Free Movement at Proceed with Love. On Instagram, it's got underscores in between it. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. said there is power in love, and that's what we are trying to get at, getting people to find some kind of common ground. If that song can be the common ground, and then we can, it's kind of like flipping the Funkadelic thing on the other side, you know, we're going to free their free their asses first, and then their mind will follow.
That's
what
it.
We're hoping, you know.
Well, we definitely do appreciate that. I mean, you know, message or music with a message, typically that doesn't happen all the time, right? People are talking about some other things. So,
you know, it's a huge space for that in the world today.
We
you know,
need
and
that.
I hope that this inspires other artists to get out here and speak on, release songs on what's going on out there, because it blows my mind that Childish Gambino, This Is America is genius, but we need more.
Absolutely.
We need more from the arts to help us through.
Well, we're definitely going to get more, because obviously the
situation.
next time you guys do something, we definitely want you guys to come back to
Thank
On
you.
Point. We want to be the first ones to break the record, to feature the record.
And when Asia flies up next, y'all got to meet her
Oh,
in
yeah,
person
we
too.
need Asia up here.
Check out
We need to hear
Asia
all of
Rainey.
that.
Check
She's
out Asia Rainey.
amazing. She's such a part of the magic of all of this.
And where did you find Asia Rainey? I forgot. You didn't mention Asia. Where to find her on?
Just search for her by her name. She's got so many amazing projects,
Awesome.
everything from children's books to her own solo material coming out.
Well, shout out to Asia. So
Shout
you guys
out
got to
to
come
everybody
back. Everybody's
down
got to
with the
come back.
movement. Love is love, and we love to catch y'all next time. And
Indeed.
hope you
Get
love
free.
our outro as we segue to our next
It's
situation.
not a movement
Peace,
without
peace,
you.
Peace, peace, peace.
Thank you, Curtis.
Thank you guys. Awesome.
Many say that I'm too young to let you know just where I'm coming from. Oh, but you will see that it's just a matter of time. My love will surely make you mine. Oh, living in a world of ghetto life. Everybody around seems so tight, but nothing's wrong. It's alright with my man, my man. I like the kinds of ways we have our fun. His loving ways send me on and on. Yeah, with mommy, people
And that is our first half of the show. I thank you guys for tuning in, and it was a great, awesome show. Nice music, new music, refreshing, and join us for the next half. Stay tuned, guys. On Point Experience.
You're on point, yes. All the time, Kurt. You're on point, Ray. All the time, Kurt. You're on point, Will.
All the time, Kurt.
On point radio, we about to build. On point radio, we about to build. On point radio, we about to build. On point radio, we about to build.